Hey guys, my name's Odyssey and welcome to another video. Before I get started in the topic I wanted to talk about, I just wanted to address the fact that I haven't made videos in forever. And just real quick, I don't want to waste a lot of time with it, but I'm sorry. I kind of burnt myself out with trying to make videos. A lot of the stuff I tried to do didn't work out quite as well as I wanted it to because I'm really OCD about making everything perfect. So I had to just take a break and realized that some things weren't going to be as perfect as I wanted them to be, and I just had to restart. So this is kind of a reset for me, and that being said, let's get into the video. So basically, if you guys don't know what happened, just by the title, Team EnVyUs Smite had a bunch of roster changes and some ridiculous stuff, and I wanted to talk about it because there's a lot of people talking about it right now, and I figured I'd add my voice to the thousands, but I wanted to talk about it in a little bit more of a calm, analytical way. Sort of just trying to figure out what went wrong here, because roster changes happen all the time, and well, they don't always go like this. So what happened? Basically, going all the way back to the beginning, because we got to start from the beginning if we want to understand this. Envy was doing great. They were winning pretty much every single game during the regular season, and they were pretty much unstoppable. And then something happened towards the Super Regionals. Right before then, they just started losing. They weren't playing very well. I don't know what happened. It was definitely something within the team, something chemistry-wise, something was going on. It wasn't working out well. And so they just started losing, and they went to the Super Regionals. They weren't even able to get to Worlds, so I mean, what are you gonna do? Well, they did something no one else was really thinking about. They decided to swap up their roster for an Xbox team, and basically the PC team at this time was still the same. And they made like basically a whole new Xbox roster, which is, it's different, but it's for the same members. Basically, their ADC went to mid, which is Allied. Allied went to mid, and then they had ADC Cyclone, support Kiki, who was support for PC at the time too, and solo was Omega, who used to be Eager, who used to be Cloud9, and Weekend was jungle, of course. And that worked out pretty well. They completely destroyed the Xbox, all the Xbox teams. Of course, that's because they're Xbox teams, and that's a whole nother video. I'm not BMing them, even though it kind of sounds like it. I just don't want to get into that conversation, because that's a whole nother conversation I could make a whole nother video on. But basically, they just absolutely destroyed them. And they're like, hey, we destroyed Xbox teams, why can't we destroy Smite teams? Well, there's a couple reasons, but again, that's the other video. But they're like, hey, we're going to keep this roster and move it to PC because we think this roster is better. Well, Incon is not on that roster. So basically, they replaced him, which is fine, but this is where things start to get really bad. They didn't tell him. They decided to wait because he was going on vacation. They didn't want to ruin his vacation and say, oh, you're getting replaced. We'll wait till after his vacation and tell him after so it doesn't ruin his vacation, which is terrible idea to begin with. I know you're thinking you're doing someone a service when you wait till after something special to tell them something bad, but then they just feel worse because they didn't know earlier. You really want to give somebody a lot of, I mean, at least in my opinion, you want to give them as much buffer time as possible for bad news, because the sooner you know, the sooner you can get over it, the quicker you know, the easier you can plan around it. It's just the way it is. So that's my opinion on it. But they decided to wait till after, which, you know, it's their decision. I respect it. But then they told him on his birthday. They really went from, oh, let's not tell him on a special week to let's tell him on his special day instead, which, you know, is terrible. That was kind of upsetting. Weekend, I believe, told him a day early before the whole team as a group decided to tell him, which was nice of Weekend. I'm glad he did that. That's nice of him, and I give him props for that. And so basically, Incon he got a little bit upset, I would say. He didn't break down or anything like that. He was stayed in character. He stayed, you know, stayed composed and everything. But you know, he was a little bit irritated, I'm sure, as anyone would be. I mean, you're on Envy, and now you're not. But basically, he just said, "Oh, I wish Allied would have told me. We were friends forever. I wish he would have told me a little bit earlier." But Allied never told him. Which, I mean, jeez, really, man. I mean, I know if I was on a team with, say, Blitz, which people that watch my channel a lot would know, if I was ever on a team with him, and the rest of the team, I guess that would be 3 people, decided that they didn't want him on the team and they were just going to replace him, not only would I have told him early, but to be honest, I probably wouldn't stay on that team. Just because, and I know that sounds like, oh, well, if you were on Envy, you wouldn't. But to be honest, I play Smite mostly because it's fun. If it's not fun, then I would stop playing. And since it's considerably less fun without him, I probably wouldn't even play, to be honest. So I actually probably would leave, even if it was Cloud9. Say, like, if we had a team sponsored by Cloud9, and the rest of the team said, look, Blitz is out regardless, I would probably leave. So just the fact that Ally didn't even tell him is a little bit, that's weird to me, considering they're supposed to be really good friends. But that's what happened. Then Incon made a video on it, and well, I would say he tried his best to be professional in a situation that was not all that positive, and he basically expressed his feelings. He kind of tried to do a mix of completely professional and also adding in his personal feelings, which was the first mistake for this. Whenever you do these kind of things, you want to be 100% professional, keep your feelings and your opinions out of it with official statements. The reason for that is, if you don't, it's not because you don't trust your fans or anything, it's because if you don't, this will happen. This will always happen. But most of this was not Incon's fault. I'm not saying that. We'll have to, moving on. Basically, so people got upset. Like, most everyone loves Incon, and regardless of whether or not he should have been on the team, whether, like, you think the team would have been better off with or without him, doesn't matter. It's kind of irrelevant for the rest of the conversation, and we could talk about that, but I feel like we should save that for later. It's really irrelevant for the rest of the conversation. It doesn't matter. After that, Cyclone was kind of a dick about it. I'm just gonna be completely honest. He was on Twitter just being a dick about it, as he usually is. Cyclone is usually on Twitter being a dick about things because he's a young kid and he's not quite sure how to be mature. I mean, just gonna be honest. He's a kid. He's not sure how to be mature. But he was kind of BM on Twitter, and that made things worse. So now everyone's mad. Now everyone's mad. I'm sure even the people on the team were mad. And now I do want to say this. Omega has been great about this, ironically, because usually he would be one to at least say something cheeky. But he's, as far as I know, I haven't really seen anything from him. He's been pretty quiet and good about it, so props to him. But Cyclone, not so much. Allied was still pretty quiet at this time, and so they basically gave Incon the opportunity to be coach, which at the time he really loved. He really wanted to be coach. And so he was like, you know what, maybe this will give me a chance to get back in. Maybe I can, you know, if their roster doesn't work out, I believe he was hinting this towards something, but that can be a whole nother video. Basically, he was thinking, maybe I can get back in if the roster changes. That's basically long and short of it. So he decided, yeah, I'll do that. So he made the video, Twitter thing. He's a coach. Now they're arguing internally, and this is, I mean, it's not confirmed, but it's pretty obvious that there was some amount of arguments going on between Incon, the rest of the team, all that, and they don't like what his video says, even though his video was completely fair. It had a little bit of personal stuff in it because he was upset, and now they're upset. Basically, they're saying, you know what? You're off. You're not coach anymore. Okay, it was already bad. The unprofessionalism on both sides kind of boiled the pot a little bit. And then saying, you know what, you're just off now, blew the pot up. The pot is now shards, fragments all over on the ground. Just you're gonna have to sweep it up. You don't have a maid. You're gonna have to clean up yourself, and all those pieces are hot. How are you gonna do that? So I don't know. I don't even know what to say. It basically, they said you're off the team. He's alright. Incon says, alright, I'm off the team. Whatever. He changes his Twitter handle to incon_free_agent and says, alright guys, I'm a free agent. They didn't like my video. Alright, Incon, them kicking off the team is really bad for PR. It blew up the pot. And now, saying that, planted a bomb on the floor where the pot used to be, and just blew up the surrounding area. Like the whole house that the pot was located in is now destroyed. So now everything's blown up. Now people are sending death threats to everyone on the team, and everything's a mess. Everyone hates everyone now, and that's basically what happened. Getting on to, I guess I've already had my opinion strewn about in the story a little bit, but now mostly my opinion time. What happened here? What can we do to fix it? Well, I mean, there's not much we as a people can do to fix it other than just be quiet and let it blow over. But, which obviously I'm not doing by making a video on it, but never mind. So, Aftermath. Actually, in the Aftermath, Incon said, in all caps, if you're sending death threats, stop it. I'll block you from everything. Incon buddy. All caps is never a good way to calm people down. Usually makes them more angry. So you may have doubled the amount of death threats. Allied said, oh, I'm gonna go on vacation. I don't need the death threats. All the pros / streamers like Wolfie are trying to be semi-white nice, saying, it's alright, buddy. People are idiots. I'm not provoking them at all by calling them idiots, but they're idiots, you know, right? Right? Wink, wink. I'm not gonna provoke them by saying this. Of course, that didn't help. That's not helping at all either. But all that's happening, cutting off. What do I think? Yeah, I mean, I've been in this Smite Pro scene since it began. I mean, not in it. I've been in it as in I've been spectating it from its beginning. I've been able to watch all of this, which I think has been a truly unique experience, at least for me. And what do I think about it? Well, Envy as a team, though not as an organization, because I don't know what they could have done, to be honest. I'm not that ingrained on how much influence organizations would really have over this. But as a team, they fucked up. And not just by kicking Incon. Honestly, that might have been what they had to do. But the way they handled it, not telling him way ahead of time, I would say you need to give your dude a week of advance before you make the final decision. So he knows that what his life has been built around for the past couple of years is about to be broken down and put under, you know, it's compromised now. You don't know if you're gonna be able to do it anymore. You need to give him at least a week, dude. I mean, come on, that's a thing. So they screwed up. He screwed up by not being professional, which no one is in the Smite scene, so it's to be expected. But you know, so everyone messed up. No one's in the right here. Everyone messed up, including Allied, including Cyclone. Well, I mean, I guess Omega didn't mess up. Omega's the good guy here, guys. He didn't really do anything, which, you know, I never thought I would say that, to be honest. As far as the team, yeah, I don't like the team, and not because they're not good. I don't like the team because they have Weaken. He's BM. I don't like him as a person. I don't like him. They have Omega. He's BM. I don't like him as a person. They have Cyclone. I don't like him as a person. He's a young kid, but that has stopped to be an excuse for me. I don't like him. He's BM. They have Kiki. I don't mind Kiki at all. I don't like him. I don't dislike him. He seems like a neat guy. He hasn't really been very vocal in the community. He doesn't really stream much or anything like that, so I don't really have an opinion on him. I don't like him, I don't dislike him. There's Allied. I have mixed emotions about him. On one side, I like him. I like his stream. He's pretty cool. On the other side, it looks like there's a different side to him that I don't really like as much. And so, overall, I don't like the EnVy team. Not really going to be supporting them, just because, well, I don't like 3 of the players on there, and the other 2 I'm mixed with, so I don't like them to begin with. And it's just going to be difficult. That's my opinion on what happened. I don't know what's going to happen from here. It'll probably get a little bit worse, people yelling at people, and then it'll probably get better. The roster will probably be the same. They're not going to change because people are mad at them, but EnVy's going to have a lot less support as a... I mean, within the Smite branch, anyways, they're going to have a lot less support because no one likes this happening, and the people that like Weak and the people like Omega and the people that like Cyclone are very segregated groups. They're very niche. They're not globally liked because people know that they're BM jerks. So, I mean, if you just added Raffer to that team, it would be all of Smite's BM pro scene condensed into one team. So I'm kind of hoping they do that, even though Raffer's EU. But it's been insane. I don't like anything that's happened. I don't like the new team. But at the same time, I'm not going to go on Twitter and go rant. I don't think that, just as the PSA at the end, rambling. So don't do bad things. Be a good person. PSA. I'm going to get another video out. That's kind of a topic video talking about the pro scene state in general. And that's going to be interesting. It's going to be a little bit about this, but it's going to be about the roster. It's not going to be about the issue. And it'll be about everyone's rosters and stuff like that. But that'll be might be uploaded later today. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to be making videos a lot more. I'm not burnt out anymore, so that's good. And for exciting news, I'm going to be doing a lot of 3v3 ranked once that comes out in Season 3. I already have a team set up. Me, Blitz, and another guy who you guys have yet to see. But you will see once the Season 3 comes out. He's a really neat dude, so that's pretty cool. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. See ya.